Roberto, what did you make of Andy Ruiz's upset victory over Anthony Joshua, and what is your outlook on the rematch?
You have to. I mean, you and I have talked about this in the past about how he's one of my favorite fighters, Joshua. I've mentioned in the past, I thought, he's the top heavyweight, but you got to give it to Andy Ruiz. I mean, that's the beauty of boxing. Never count somebody out. Nothing's ever written in stone. I mean, what he came in did is beautiful. This is the real Rocky story, coming in and beating Apollo Creed. I mean, it can't get better than that. As far as the rematch, it tells you, really says tons of who Joshua is, the competitor he is. I usually, personally, don't like to see a rematch when one of the fighters got knocked out right away. Sometimes it's more than anything, it's that pride. I wish he would have said, you know what, let me take a comeback fight, let me see where I'm at, and then go for it. But you got to give him credit. You got to applaud that and say he's willing to take a risk. If he loses again, where does that put him?
Definitely. Who do you think is the best heavyweight now that Anthony Joshua was defeated?
Well, defeat won't discredit him. I mean, if he comes back and redeems himself with an explosive victory, then that loss is behind. It's done and over with, and he's still one of the top. I mean, Deontay has not been beaten. So now there is that, let's see how Joshua comes back. Deontay hasn't been beaten. He's still undefeated. So right now, I'd have to say Deontay.
That's what's up. Now, let's say Ruiz does beat Joshua in the rematch and Deontay stays undefeated. How do you see a potential fight between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz?
Exciting, fun, and ends by knockout. Deontay would probably stop Andy, with all due respect. I mean, Deontay's right hand's for real.
Definitely. Last question. You don't have to comment, but what did you make of the whole Dillian White situation and him testing positive for a banned substance, but the fight was allowed to go on and they did not notify his opponent, Oscar Rivas?
I don't know too much on the particulars. I'd have to know a little bit more on the particulars to put in an honest opinion. So right now I'd reserve to say anything on that because it is a tough situation. It's very delicate.
Appreciate you, Robert.
My pleasure, brother.
Thank you, man.